And that crowd popped on the 1, 2, 3 big time. Guy was a legend over there.
Oh, that was so good. So before we move on from New Japan, because we're going to round this week out with a television championship match, because you're still fighting with the belt here. But before we move on, what did you think overall about this relationship with New Japan and WCW aligning themselves with New Japan? Did you think that this could have the potential to be a successful partnership with WCW?
Well, I'm a little selfish, and I'll just be honest with you. Nothing against the folks over there, or certainly not the wrestling company, which was a top shelf. I'm an American through and through. I like watching American news. I like American food, American movies. Love to watch American sports. And when you get to Japan, other than like CNN was one channel, you had maybe 2 channels that were news channels that you could get anything American. In those days, we didn't have social media. I was a big USA paper guy. I read a USA paper every single day.
USA Today.
Yeah. It was a Cliff Notes of the world, right? Yep. Back then. Short version of everything happening in the world. You don't have any of that. You know, I need bigger than a twin bed to sleep in. And when you leave Japan, now the Kyo Plaza was a really nice Americanized hotel. But when you got out on the road on these 3-week tours, those little bitty rooms, you know, some of them were so small you had to leave your bags out in the hallway because there just wasn't room for you to walk around in there. It was just tiny. The fact that you couldn't get food past 8 o'clock at night in some of those small towns, it was an issue. No gym, some of those small towns, which means you just went to the arena and they had some dumbbells and a bench, and a bench press, but you couldn't get much done with that. It's just a whole different world. God bless America.
So from your personal perspective as a performer, whatever was happening with WCW New Japan is whatever was going on. But as a performer, you preferred, I want that good old US of A. We'll tour the US and do our thing and build our company through that way. This wasn't the road for you going international.
I did not need it to feed my ego. I did not need it out of the curiosity of seeing the rest of the world. Let me tell you, like I said, the one leg was 13 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If you've ever dealt with airports, and in some facet, when you wake up in your room in America, and you go through all the things you have to, getting there a couple hours early, your flight, then whatever the layover is, then another 13 hours, then get on a 3-hour bus ride. If you've never done anything like that, I can't sit here and do it justice. What it does to your body, it takes you a week to get over it.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, you don't know what time frame you're on. You don't know. Your body is just turning backflips.